Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another episode of Aether Raid's Offense. Today's video covers the recently completed Astra season, and my season wasn't too bad. This marks the first full week where the enemies could have 7 units on their defense team, so that made things pretty interesting. I ended up taking a 1 unit loss in one match and 1 full surrender, but otherwise had a smooth experience. It's weird, actually. The full surrender was against a Hrist and Physic setup, and at that point in time, Physic didn't really set off the alarm bells in my brain the way Rescue or Return would have, so I didn't realize that, the enemies would move on turn 1, which was kind of awkward. On the plus side, losing that match got me an interesting Savior setup on the next one that I ended up using as a third bonus battle for today's video, so do look forward to that as we get into today's matches. The first map is a Hrist and Return trap. Obviously, the map's goal is to have Bernadetta deal damage to her allies on turn 1, and then have Sarah use Return on someone, probably Wrath, to just chuck them at the attacking team. As far as this type of trap goes, this particular variant is one of the less difficult ones. It has an isolation weakness, since Sarah can be isolated, rendering the trap ineffective. Additionally, there is a bit of a structural weakness in the map's narrow columns. If you can block these columns, you can stop the trap, or at least keep the threatening foes from reaching your back line. Finally, it's compositionally weak to strong reds, as the only thing that can pose a significant threat to a bulky red unit is Seiros, who starts the map locked in the corner. Depending on how you engage the enemy, it may be possible to get Micaiah to move before Seiros can use guidance to jump out of her prison. One other thing to note, which applies to all Hrist and Return traps, is that Return, in this context, is used as a post-combat assist, not a pre-combat assist. In order for a healing assist to be used before combat, the target must have sustained a certain amount of damage. The threshold can apparently vary based on the target's max HP, but 1 damage is not enough. This means that if you leave your units in the range of the enemies, those combats will happen before the return action. This may not be abusable on every Hrist and Return map, but it's definitely useful for making accurate AI predictions. Alright, I'm going to send in the Dragon Wagon for this battle. Basically what I'm going to do is have Idun wall the enemy off entirely, so let me go ahead and just arrange some stuff here. I'm going to plant her straight on that heavy trap next to the armory. Well, to the right of the armory, in case that wasn't painfully obvious by the fact that I am having her approach up the right-hand side. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to leave Regan in range of Clarine. That's going to force Clarine to attack Regan. That combat is actually prioritized because Clarine doesn't die. That ensures that Bernadetta will not get her solo skills when she attacks Idun, which is pretty nice, although it's really just a bonus, since Idun's going to demolish her regardless. So as expected, Clarine attacks Regan, and then, let's see, okay, so it's Bernadetta attacking first. I was kind of wondering whether it would be her or Wrath, and obviously she gets completely obliterated. I'm not actually sure if the mitigation is... Okay, the mitigation is enough to prevent her from getting 1-hit KO'd. That's totally fine. Wrath is going to attack. It's smacked by an Aether, although she's only taken 1 damage, so it's not like she gets a ton of benefit from it. Then Sarah should be attacking next, and she takes damage. What? Does she not have Dazzling Staff? Okay, we take those. Well, oh, wow, I was worried about Seiros jumping out of her prison, but I forgot that because Sarah is not getting the refresh, Micaiah does then have to. And because Micaiah can attack afterward, that action is prioritized over Seiros jumping out. So now, this took a not super difficult map and made it even easier. So that's perfectly fine by me. I'm pretty sure the heavy trap that Idun stepped on was the real one. I don't completely remember, but I'm pretty sure I can park Regan on this one. And then actually reposition Plumeria in, refresh, and then take out Mirabilis, activate Gale Force, and take out the Aether Fountain. And after that, I'll need to set up to take out the Aether Amphore. What I really want to do here is to set Sothis up with the Divine Fang bonus, so she can deal a ton of damage to Seiros. That's honestly my best Seiros counter. So let me go ahead and set this up. Actually, wait a minute. Let's see, I think I can, if I take out the Amphore and refresh Sothis here, Canto away. I guess I don't really need to do that though. Yeah, I can do this. Perfect. I was curious as to whether Sothis would actually be able to pull it off, but she can, so let's go ahead and let her do that. Today's second map is a 7th unit slot trap. Seiros is in the 7th slot and is in range of both refreshers. Keep in mind that because both Azura and Peony have weapons, the priority check for who gets to refresh Seiros falls to the distance from the closest enemy tiebreak. This rule specifies that the refresher that has the highest number of spaces between themselves and the enemy closest to them will perform the refresh. This means that Peony is almost certain to jump out to refresh Seiros on turn 1, which extends the threat range on the left side significantly. However, with at least 2 open spaces on the backline, this trap can be abused. If you don't have any of your units in Peony's extended range, and none of your units threaten her after the warp, the enemy phase will end after Peony's refresh, leaving her very exposed. You can make the AI aggressive by deleting Peony and retreating to safety. Be careful, though. This is best done with a team that has a 2-range cavalry unit, because then you can have them threaten Seiros from afar, forcing either the Seer or Bramimon to rally her, and then consume Azura's refresh. Isolation to stop Azura from refreshing would also work. Without a 2-range cavalry unit or isolation user, you must be prepared to have Seiros advance 2 spaces and receive Azura's refresh. If you can manage all of this, the rest should just be cleanup. I'm going to go ahead and send in the Dragon Wagon for this battle. I'm pretty sure the trap for this map is that Peony jumps out in front of Seiros at the beginning of the enemy phase, once her action gets taken away. And so I'm going to make sure my units are out of that extended threat range, but I also want to make sure that I can move Regan in such a way that I'll be able to take the Peony out to make the AI aggressive next turn. So let me go ahead and do that. And then regardless of what happens, I'm going to take some thinking time just to make sure I've got my sequence of actions straight. So let's see, Peony should jump out here. Yes, perfect. And the enemy phase ends. Excellent. So I'm going to take some thinking time. I'll be right back with you. Alright, I have determined that it is safe to proceed with my original plan. Let me go ahead and refresh Regan, smite her onto this heavy trap, and then I'll clean up on the backline a little bit by repositioning Plumeria and Naga to safety with Idun and Altina, respectively. Then Regan will take out Peony with 1 hit, and then she can move down 2 spaces, get a reposition to safety from Sothis. And yeah, let me go ahead and do that. I don't think I need Idun's duo skill here. I don't think I need it. So let's see here. I'm expecting... Oh, wait. Whoa, that heavy trap affected Seiros. Okay, so now she's forced to attack Sothis. I figured she was going to move 2 spaces and then get refreshed and attack Idun, who she can't really seriously threaten. She might die here. That would be really nice. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look. And... Are you serious? Wait, would I have been able to stop that by activating Idun's duo skill? That's actually kind of upsetting. Alright, I'm going to take some more thinking time here just to get this situation straightened out. I have decided that the best way to proceed here is to have Sothis defeat Seiros. It's a little annoying to kind of waste that Sirius, but I think the next sequence is aggressive enough that it's not going to matter. Let me go ahead and move Regan up 3 spaces, get Plumeria repositioned in with Idun, and then Regan will be able to take out Kempf. Since she did charge up her Gale Force by 1 from attacking Peony, she's going to get it activated from this combat. Then she can go on and take out the Azura, and then Kanto away out of the Seer's range. That's really nice. Interestingly enough, this Kempf matchup would have actually worked out even if Regan had not been a bonus unit, so that's kind of nice. So, after Regan has deleted the Azura and run away, all that's left is to reposition I don't know, because I don't even need to reposition. Just move Naga out of Veronica's range, and then we'll have to see how the enemies choose to move. So let me go ahead and do that, and then hit the end turn button. Oh, right. Actually, I have to hit the end turn button. Oh, wow. That is actually a really nice split. So let's go ahead and do this. Have Regan attack Veronica. And she lives with 1 HP too. Finally, it works in my favor. Alright, that is actually really nice. So let me go ahead and, let's see here. Oh, she has Kanto. I don't know. Here? Sure, let's just put her here. And then refresh with Plumeria, and then she can take out Bramimond in 2 hits, which activates her Gale Force again because Veronica survived the first attack. That is really nice. And I can start getting the Aether structures now by having Regan take out the Tactics Room, and Naga can warp in to grab the Fountain. That should also actually force the Seer to move down right towards Naga. So let me go ahead and just see if that prediction was correct. Either way, she'll be in range of Altina. Okay, perfect. And actually, you know what? Regan's put in so much work this map. I'm going to go ahead and have Naga take out the M4, and Regan can get the finishing blow here. It's been a while since I last encountered a map worthy of being showcased as a bonus battle, but I'll say this one qualifies. Usually, bonus maps are super high investment setups that I feel the average player may not have the tools to overcome. In this case, though, I think it's doable, albeit difficult, and really just wanted to put in a savior strategy so I could discuss it in the same video as the two trap strategies from the previous maps. This setup dissuades player phase approaches with the double savior skill setup on Edelgard on Raphael, and makes enemy phase approaches difficult with the use of powerful offensive threats like Leaf and Alphonse. There aren't really any structural weaknesses here. In fact, an enemy phase approach is probably your best bet. Since Leaf consumes Mirabilis' refresh right off the bat, that's a good place to start. Leaving a unit in his range will trigger a rally from someone, but there won't be any refresh power to back it up. This is bittersweet, though, since that means Peony will refresh Alphonse after he moves, unless you can isolate her. Interestingly, this means that one of the best ways to deal with this map is to use a savior skill of your own, as placing a unit with far save somewhere along the bottom will allow them to take hits from Leaf and Alphonse without threatening your other units. Overall, the requirements here are fairly strict, but a well-executed enemy phase strategy to avoid the savior skills should bring you victory. So, I've run the numbers, and I think my dragon team can handle a turn 1 enemy phase initiation. Let me go ahead and shuffle some stuff around here. I'm going to have Regan and Altina hiding in the safe zone at the bottom of the map. Idun will take on Leaf, since the poor man doesn't have enough speed to break through Zephyr Breath with his guaranteed follow-up from Thialfi. And he is flimsy enough. He's not super flimsy, but he's flimsy enough that Idun can two-shot him. Then Sothis will be in range of Alphonse after he moves and gets refreshed by Peony, while Regan and Altina will be perfectly safe. So let's go ahead and refresh out of Mirabilis, and then a rally out of, okay, Raphael. It was either Raphael or Seiros. And exactly as expected, Leaf is going to take two 29s. Interestingly, I did notice that there was a long-range penalty applied to my units. I'm not sure what that was, but I think Sothis is going to fall just shy of the KO on Alphonse. When I calculated it, it was that without a penalty on Sothis, and she KO'd exactly. But now that she's in the range of Flower of Ease with a penalty, I think she's going to fall 3 damage short, which kind of sucks. But whatever, we will deal with it. So let's see here. Yeah, 3 damage shy as expected. So I'm going to go ahead and take some thinking time and see how to best proceed. Interestingly enough, Altina can actually KO Alphonse now that he doesn't have his special up, so Imbued Coma isn't going to give him that 5 defense bonus. So that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, her res is too high for to force an attack from Peony. However, what I can do is move Regan over here, just below, give her field buffs, move her back into range of Peony. I just really wanted to minimize the damage that she takes, and that is going to force an attack out from Peony. I also wanted to keep Plumeria below that mountain just in case Edelgard does that. Warps out in front to rally Raphael directly. I didn't want her getting refreshed and then attacking into my Plumeria. That would have been absolutely horrible. So Raphael gets completely obliterated by Idun's armor effectiveness, and even if that had fallen just shy, Aether definitely would have done it. Oh, wow, that's actually really nice. Seiros moved first, so Edelgard was able to warp to her. She's going to get utterly demolished as well. That is perfect. Sothis has been set up with the Divine Fang bonus, so she should be able to take out the Seiros after I have Regan delete the Peony. I believe she still does have Canto active, so I'll have to decide where to move her. That should be fine. I am hoping to have her grab the Aether Fountain on the next turn. We'll have to see what Mirabilis does and respond accordingly. So, Sothis takes out Seiros for probably about the gazillionth time this season. And let's see if I can maybe set up a Smite from Naga. I think that might help me get Regan to the Aether Fountain if I can set that up. Let me do this. And, oh, actually, wait, I need to move Altina out of the way because that's where Naga would be smiting from. Super awkward. Okay. Let's see here. How am I going to run this? Well, alright, so Mirabilis moves to the left. So, how do I want to do this? Well, let me grab the Aether Amphore first with Idun. And then...
Consider it done.
I won't lose.
Let me actually, you know what? I'll just get it next turn, whatever. I'll smite Sothis up to get the dragons together, make sure they have their armor marches. Perfect. So now I can start warping people around because that bolt trap was real, although obviously that's not super significant at this stage of the game. Obviously, at this point, it's really just cleanup. Let me go ahead and warp Naga up. We'll have to see what Mirabilis decides to do now. Okay, she goes down, so I can take out the Aether Fountain with Regan, and then after that, I'll move Altina over one space to the left, and then Naga can warp in to finish the job. Although, actually, wait, Altina probably could have done it herself. Oh, and yeah, she had Twin Blades almost ready from attacking Alphonse. Oh well. And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raid's Offense, despite the fact that it was all Dragon Wagon. My hand was kind of forced on that front, actually. Every single successful battle I had this week was Dragon Wagon, so what can you do? We'll have to see if that trend continues going forward. Next week, we'll be going back into Light Season. I'm going to be using Freya as my bonus unit for most teams. There's actually one team where I'm not going to be using Freya. It's actually an experimental strategy. We'll have to see how well it turns out. If it turns out well, you'll see it on next week's Aether Raid's Offense or Aether Raid's Battle Dome video. And if it doesn't turn out well, the strategy will never see the light of day. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's all I have for you for this video. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.